Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. Again, sorry for being away for a little while, but the illness I had really did hit me quite hard. It's so by the voice though, I am feeling better. Still got a little bit of it left, but again, a lot better and quite excited to get back onto that video grind now. December has been a really good month, so thank you all for the views and subscriptions, even though I haven't been pumping the videos out like usual. Hopefully we can have a really strong back end of the month to just rein it back in and get to where we want to be. So in terms of updates this week, we had the Shooting Star refresh, which I'm going to have a bit of a look over the weekend and see if it's really good or if it's really worthwhile doing, and then we'll hopefully do a video relating to that as well. But on the bright side of being off for a little while, I have got a couple of videos to pump out and some really good ideas as well. But apart from the stars, that is the only real sort of update for this week. But again, December's been a pretty good month for updates, and on top of the woodcutting and fletching and stuff, which we'll be doing some more videos on over the next couple of days, it has been a pretty solid month for updates. But we're not here for that. We're here for one thing and one thing only. We are here for Marketwatch. So as always, we're going to start on price rises. I've not been keeping up much with the game, so really interested to see where we are in terms of prices. So when I left last week and last week's Marketwatch as well, the price of the wood spirits was going absolutely crazy. And here it seems that the Grand Exchange is trying to catch up. So there's going to be a lot of that and a lot of the brand new Fletching items as well. So we are going to start with the teak wood spirit, which is now 735. Eternal magical logs are now 5.3k as well, which is actually a pretty decent price there. I think it's going to overlap and take the place of where the elder log was. Elder log is going to come down quite a bit, and hopefully these magic logs will be able to go back up as a result of that as well. The good thing is now they've sorted out the buy limits for the log, so you are able to sell them and get rid of them at a decent price as well. And they can actually be quite a solid AFK moneymaker by the look of it. So I've been doing a little bit, but I'm going to be doing a bit more research before doing sort of an AFK guide or money making video on eternal logs, which should be coming over the next couple of days/weeks. Magic wood spirits is 2.2k and the willow wood spirits 4.5. Willow is definitely still a very solid way to make some GP, and what these wood spirits have done, kind of similar to how Primal did it as well, is brought a bit of life into certain Slayer creatures. So like the lower tier tasks, like the rock slugs and stuff like that, have gone up in price because of the price of the willow wood spirits. So definitely one still to hunt for that, but again, anything to do with wood spirits, make sure to be checking your margins. Spectral lens are now 12.7mm on the Grand Exchange, and an eternal magic shortbow is now 123.8k. Really interested to jump into fletching and seeing like what that is in terms of GP and how that's going to make profit in the future. The basic wood spirit is 2.7k. We have the gift wrap scythe at 4.4mm. Crossbow strings 3.9k each, and the green die is now 5.9k from the Christmas event. Training 6 at 26 GP each, and augmenter is 497k. A lumberjack's courage, which I think is brand new, is 57.8k, and biscuits 7.1k there as well. We have primal stuffs in the form of arrowheads and the bolt tips. They're up in price, so they're 637, 639. Again, brand new items, trying to find their sort of price, so they sort of will go up and down until they settle down onto a price. We have the offhand and the main hand primal crossbows, currently 120k. Really interested to see what these are like in terms of fletching and to try them out, because these can quite easily, if they are good and if they are done right, outpace some of the PVM items, so really interested there. The Assassin's Walkover Ride is now 391mm, the Dragon Pickaxe is 32.1, big jump there, 4mm in the week. We have a Glorious Bar at 8.2mm and a Chronium Bar 12.5 and Orichalcum at 10k each. Again, these really are always pretty decent in terms of moneymaker, in terms of Necronium and Orichalcum. They go up and down, kind of almost like seasonal, so it's decent to see those back up. And again, smelting is a really good money-making method. The bird whistle, which I don't know what it is, so I'm going to be looking into that over the next couple of days. But that is up in price. And Noxious Essence, which I believe is now used for the Masterwork bow, is 36.4mm. And because of that, things like the longbow and the staff are up in price. 300mm for Nox weapons though is pretty solid, and Araxor really will be pumping GP. And this is why I love the Masterwork set, is it really brings a demand on items which kind of was starting to lose the appeal. Noxious, maybe not the worst for that. The Ascension bows could have been something better. Noxious always has the perks to rely on, but again, it's a good way to pump the price up there. Primal Limbs 1.5k, I imagine that's still got to find its price. Elderwood Spirits 15.7 and a Mahogany Frame 50.3. We have Ectoplasm 1.5k there and an Aggression Flask 118k. We have Mortmire Fungus at 1.8k Mithril bar 2.8 and a Bane bar is 10.2 and Bane Eye Tor 5k there as well. So we are seeing like sort of smithing bars going up, which can happen and is a pretty common trend to be fair. We have manuscripts of Wen 103k. They kind of hit a point where they got just a bit too cheap, and Radiant Energy 297 GP each there. So we have the imbued bird feed 55.1 and a sharpening stone 55.1 as well. I don't know if these are things of the buffs which are going to be involved in woodcutting, which again I'm going to have a quick look and find out. And again, when I do my overview of the woodcutting update, which I was supposed to do last week, I'll include all that in there as well. So Eternal Magical Shaft 383 each. We have the Eternal Magical Shortbow, probably one of the earlier models compared to the one we saw earlier on. 3k for that. We have a Green Santa Hat 473.5 mil. Potato Cactus on its way up. Again, Potato Cactus is a weird one. Like all the other herb secondaries, there's always that sort of feeling that it's going to bounce up and go quite aggressive. But 10% rise on Potato Cactus, definitely want to keep an eye out. And if you do it daily, just keep stocking it up and just keep an eye on the price as well. Frost Dragon Mose 24.7k. It's still solid and still a really good way to make GP. Bronze Bar, again, one of the absolute kings of free-to-play money-making methods. You can start it very, very early. 2.6k for that as well. And with Bronze Bars, I imagine you could probably get a bit more on the top as well because they can get quite low volume. A Cooked Shark is 322. A Hydrix Bolt is 5.4k. Orichalcum 3.4. Masterwork 2H Sword 61.1 mil. And the Runic Katuna, to be fair, has gone up again. So 168.8 mil. This might be because people are doing less gates, but I don't think it's quite worth that for how like limited its use is. It is really good to train with, but again, I think you're sort of missing out because it's forcing you to do a couple of the lower level rune spots, and that's where you cause yourself to lose a little bit of profit as well. The Roar of Awakening is 92.4 mil, and the Ode to Deceit has finally broke the 100 mil barrier, 105 mil there. Again, too cheap for tier 95s, but they were absolutely blasted into the game, so they were always going to crash as well. First Necromancer on its way up, Pie Fruit as well on its way up, 4.7k there, and a Magic Frame is 69k. And then finally to finish it off, an Avatar Seed is over 1,000 coins, which again, we kind of sort of mentioned at the beginning, this was going to be dominated by a lot of the woodcutting fletching stuff. It's still trying to find its price, still trying to settle down, but there are a few things dotted around here as well. A lot of smithing bars and some herbal secondaries as well. So Mortmire Fungus, we have Potato Cactus, they're dotted around and they're starting to pick up as well, which is very interesting. And smithing as well does have this, and it does happen quite often. And this is what I like about Marketwatch, is we can start picking out these trends nice and early. The bars do seem to have a pattern where they seem to follow, and they all go up together and then follow their way down eventually if there's nothing there as well. But loads of new items, loads of ways to make GP as well. If you're a pretty decent PVMer, I'd probably say Araxor is probably as good as it's going to be for a while. So jump in on that. But if you're looking for something to AFK, all these wood spirits, look at the monsters which drop them, because you're not going to make as good money with these as for a while. But just check margins before doing anything at all. No matter what you're doing, make sure to check the margins as well. So going into price falls, we're going to skip a couple of things to start with. One, all the cosmetics, but the pink Santa is on its way down. Now currently valued at 182 mil. And also the Eternal Magical Wood Spirit, 100k was quite optimistic, but 71.4k is still optimistic. Depending on the price, it's going to be similar to what the log price is. So I imagine it's going to settle about 10 to 15k. Pretty similar to what the Elder is, depending on how quick we can come into the game. But maybe that's something we do a little bit of a look into and see what we can make there. But again, all the Canes, all the festive like versions of the Necromancy Conjures fill out quite a lot of price falls for this week. So starting from the top, Infernal Ashes, 436 GP each. Really good way to train your prayer and very cheap way to train your prayer as well. We have Eternal Magical Headless Arrows and also Primal Arrows. I think there was something to do with the XP where these were absolutely crazy, and on the next double XP, it would be mental to see the kind of XP rates you can get with Primal Arrows. But they've crashed quite hard. Puzzle box skipping tickets, again, great comment from the last video. These have gone down because they've changed the puzzle boxes. I think they're a lot quicker now. So the demand on these are going to drop massively because people will just do them themselves rather than just skip it. Ripper Demons 106k, very low for those. So if you are a big PVMer, you do use Ripper Demons. That is a good price for them, and all you need is one PVM update and they'll be back to their normal price. Magic No Paper 520, pretty decent there. I like to stock up whenever it gets in the 400s because generally it's quite cheap. Rune Darts 324, again, it's going, it's like a slow painful death of those. It was so good for so long, but it was too good and everyone sort of jumped in. Beaver Pouch 5.4k, Dragon Dart Tip 2.4k. I kind of think these are going to be moved on now because there's so many better, newer ways to make Fletching XP as opposed to these. They might still have their place, but I don't think they'll go anywhere near as high as what they used to be. Miasma Runes 922, a Rune Bar 6.3k. I do think this is going to fall a little bit now, just with the issues which are happening with Rune Dart Tips. A lot less demand, a lot less profit, so I think people will sell that up. Everlight Seal Roll, 8,000 coins each. Very surprised at this because this is one of the key elements to the Sari sets. Sari is a Tetra Compass set and it's very, very cheap. So that's one I'd keep an eye out, especially if I was going to go and hunt the Tetra Compass set for Sari. Especially if I was going to do it for Magic Note Paper as well. Archaeology is very good for Magic Note Paper. So yeah, surprised by that one. Definitely could be one to invest in the future. Light Amica at 6.5k. Again, Elder Rune bars, Primal bars, it's a bit hit or miss. Definitely want to keep an eye on though because again, that can be cheap. Now, one thing I am definitely going to buy at the back of this video is potion flasks, because 9.6k for a potion flask is just crazy. Like, I know we're in a bit of a decline on the old PVM scene, but I don't think we've seen this kind of price for a potion flask in a long time. And all you need is a really big sort of PVM update and people just to bury through potion flasks for the demand and supply just to completely flip. For me, I'm going to slowly buy these over time, maybe put in like a lowball offer in like the high 8Ks and just hopefully start to pick stuff up over time as well. Super Restore, we have 2.1k for that. We have Malchite Green, 9,000 coins. Again, if you're looking to do some Tetra Compasses, I am. Now could be a really good time to pick some up. Seems like a relatively decent price there. Acadia Log, 791 GP each. Greater Necroplasm on the way down. We have Black Dragon Hide, 1.7k each. Magic Log, 754. Cadmium Red, 9.5k for that. Unicorn Horn, 630. Cannonballs, again, was great for a time being for money making. Again, they seem to have peaked and gone down. 1.6k there. Perfect Woodcutting Juju on the way down. Silverhawk Feathers, 3.6k. Broad Arrowheads, 68 GP each. Again, a lot of items here which have had a little bit of a slow or a very quick rise and are just starting just to fall back down to where they need to be. Regular Ghostly Ink, 7.4k. We have Morcello Mushrooms, 134. Splintering Arrow Tips, 52 GP each. Rune Javelins, 183. A Grimy Qualm, 3.9. We have some Primal Bolts, 948 GP each. Primal Armored Boots, 2 mil there. Keys of the Crossing, 414k. And a Sara Brew Bracket Free, 3.2k each. So definitely some things to pick out to invest in. Like I said, Potion Flasks, the Ore, the Everlight Silver Ore is a pretty decent price, and also the Malachite Green and also the Cadmium Red, for me, are on the way down to a point where they're getting cheap enough to buy because I have a need for it. So all these things you're looking to buy, if you've got a need for it and if they don't work out, it just means you can use them at a cheap price anyway. But yeah, pretty decent this week. Obviously still dominated by woodcutting and fletching, but especially on the price rises side, there's still plenty of ways for you to make GP, whether that's with wood spirits, smithing bars, doing this woodcutting and fletching update. I'm pretty sure there's still money dotted around to jump in on, or just getting any form of these resources, which seem to be slightly up in price at the minute as well. But that's going to be the end of this week's Market Watch. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to hit like, subscribe to the channel. It really, really does help me out. Like I said, we'll be back pretty consistently now. Now I've got my voice back, and we'll be hammering out for content as well. So if you are brand new, make sure to hit that subscription button. It really, really does help me out. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, one more time, drop me that like button, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.